name is Alex and welcome back to Cadfan up here in Northumberland. And in today's episode we're going to talk about the Christianization of the people up here in the northeast of England. So just to give you a sort of background, like all things in history, it's a domino effect that results on this and results in Christianity coming up again to the northeast of England, because there were established Christian churches up here from the Roman period onwards. But this mission we're going to talk about is Paulinus's mission, and it starts off with Gregory the Great in Rome. He's walking through the slave markets in Rome and he sees a woman and some children, and they have light blonde hair, paler skin and blue eyes, and he goes, "Who are they?" And they go, "They are Angles from Derrier." Derrier is now what we would roughly call North and East Yorkshire up here in the northeast of England. And what he says is that they are not Angles but angels, and he decides that he's going to send a mission to Britain to convert them to Christianity. When he does this, he sends Augustine, and Augustine initially isn't exactly too keen. You can understand, going from Italy to Britain at that time, with all of the conflict going on, the fact that they know that Britain has fallen out of the Roman Empire, all of those various things, it's not exactly the cushiest of mission trips. But anyway, a couple of times it goes backwards and forwards, and eventually he sets off to Britain. And when he sets off to Britain, he's successful because he comes into Kent, and he's quite fortunate because the King of Kent's wife is actually Frankish. And so when she's Frankish, she's already a Catholic, and so she convinces her husband to allow a church to be established, and then it goes on from there. Now when this is happening up in Northumbria, there's loads of geopolitics going on, and what happens is that there is a ferocious king up here called Athelfrith, and Athelfrith gets killed in battle by his brother-in-law Edwin. Now when Edwin kills him in battle, Edwin is from the Darien line of kings, and so he is now looking for an advantageous marriage, and he marries into the family of the Kentish royal family. So when he marries into the Kentish royal family, he marries Ethelberg, and when he marries Ethelberg, she is a Catholic, and her grandfather is that same Frankish king. So when he marries her, she comes up with a priest called Paulinus, and over the course of his life, over the course of Edwin's life, Paulinus explains the nature of Christianity to Edwin. Now it's likely that Edwin had already been exposed to Christianity, because from other annals we've got suggestions that he may have been baptized into the British Church, but to Paulinus, who is a Catholic, that wouldn't have been enough. He needs to be a Catholic, and so he explains that. But it seems that even then, in his earlier years, Edwin was probably more of a cultural Christian than an actual believer. There is an assassination attempt against his life, and when there's an assassination attempt against his life, Edwin accepts Christianity and gets baptized. Now when he gets baptized and becomes a Christian, he now wants to convert his people as well. And so I reckon that Edwin and Paulinus would have had quite a discussion about where to actually decide to do this baptism. And here at Cadfan, this would have been a fantastic location in Northumbria. Obviously down in York, they established a church in York, and that's got Roman connections as well. So there was a mission going on in York as well. But up here at Cadfan, they choose this site because for the northern Northumbrians, so the Bernicians, this was a very sacred site. I've mentioned this a couple of times before in other videos, but you've got the Iron Age hill fort just up there. You've got a Germanic temple complex just over here that could have been established by some of the previous kings of Northumbria. And you've also got the fact that this whole valley has got Bronze Age and Copper Age monuments throughout the whole area, as well as Neolithic farming and possibly even Mesolithic occupation as well. So you've got lots of stuff going on around here that suggests that this is a very significant site, not only spiritually but also financially and economically as well, because it's a crossroad of many different meeting places. So Paulinus comes up here, and for around about a month, I believe it's 38 days off the top of my head, they come here and they baptize 3,000 people of Edwin's court, including the future Saint Hild, who was famous for establishing a monastery at modern-day Whitby. So, and also at Hartlepool and South Shields, they're all churches associated with St Hild, and she was Edwin's great niece. So because of that, they've established this area as a place where now Christianity, this new faith associated with Edwin, is coming up here and establishing a church in this location. Edwin, though, later on gets killed by one of the other rival kings of northern Britain, a warrior prince called Cadwallon, and it seems that both Edwin and Cadwallon grew up together, so they were almost like stepbrothers within the same court in Wales. But Cadwallon seems to have become both a little bit jealous of Edwin's success, now being this high king, this very powerful king in northern Britain, and so he comes up here to kill him. And when he kills him, then we see Northumbria getting set fire to for 2 whole years, until you have King Oswald coming through as well, this new saintly king who comes across with Aidan and establishes Lindisfarne, and the Celtic Church overtakes the Roman Catholic mission up here until the death of Oswald and his brother Oswu, then establishing Roman Catholicism as the major branch of Christianity up here for the Northumbrians. So it's again an amazing location because of the fact that events, just as much as just someone seeing slaves in a court in Rome, had a knock-on effect to the fact that the Christian faith was then established up here in Northumbria. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been able to tell you a little bit of the history of the site and sort of the story of Edwin and Paulinus, who are seen as sort of a tag team duo in the story of Christianity, or at least the Catholic story up here in the northeast of England. As always, I ask if you could like and subscribe, write a comment down below and I'll try and answer it, and then alongside this as well, please share the video with your friends. And I really look forward to sharing more of the story of the northeast of England with you in another video in the near future. Until then though, stay safe and well, and thank you very much.